I think the biggest thing that people find when they sit through your traditional insurance education is it's book
It's an
knowledge.
academic. It's just somebody who's not had that experience.
Exactly.
Stuffy.
Um, it's just it's book knowledge. It's kind of like when you take the insurance exam. It teaches you insurance, but then you got to go leave there and learn the actual world of insurance, right?
Yeah.
What's the practical application to actually writing the policy in the field with the questions that the consumer is going to ask versus the questions that the actuary is going to
Yeah.
ask?
Well, and I've heard
or underwriter.
stories. I've heard stories in the past with even our founder, my dad, when he was going in for his CIC designation, and he failed small agency management. And the
Did he
professor,
really?
oh yeah, he
That's
failed
hilarious.
it. And the professor was sitting there going, like, Mike, you're thinking like a big agency owner. He goes, what do you mean? He says, you need to take the other class. He says, you will pass that with flying colors. It's like, wait, there's differences? Wait, what do you
Yes.
mean?
Yep, there's a big difference. So
Yeah.
anyway, so that's kind of how ICA education has gotten to where it is today, and how.
So
it
how
developed.
did you get involved in really starting that?
Well,
aspect?
I didn't have anything to do with starting it. My whole thing is just trying to, keep the ball rolling, down the hill and bring whatever it is that I can bring, including, like I said, the bad jokes accordingly. So how did I get here is I started with my first life and health license when I was 18 years old, working in my stepfather's agency. Never forget that summer. He said, get your coat. We're going on an errand. Pulled up to a house, handed me an envelope, said, you're going to go deliver this death claim check. Really?
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah,
here I am.
Okay,
18
it's
years
trial
old,
by
walk up to
fire.
the door, knocking on the door. Now, he was always good. He was standing right behind me. The lady invited us in. We had great conversation, and it was a learning by fire experience. But by age
kidding.
19, the next summer when I went back to work in his agency, is when I kind of really started my training career. We would, have our call nights. Back then there wasn't Google. There wasn't, where you purchase lead. The leads came for free. And if you wonder what I mean, it came in 2 books, the yellow pages and the white pages. Your leads were free, right? It only cost, you time to go call them all. So you had your Monday night smile and dial, order pizza, and everyone would sit around, make phone calls. And all the other financial professionals were just like, how do you do it so easy? And I'm like, well, let's talk about it. So that's where my training career kind of kicked off. Over the years, I've pretty much worked in all aspects of the insurance industry, with the exception of Medicare and major medical health, at all levels. As I said, I started working in my stepfather's agency early on, even in the sales realm, worked as a regional administrative support over a 4-state area, was a producer in PNC agencies. I've been a operations manager for multi-site, multi-state agencies. I've been a agency owner twice. One is a scratch agency, one is an independent agency. Got the T-shirt, burned them both, and all the
So
way.
you really haven't done much in this industry, is what you're saying?
Not a lot, just a little bit, and
Just a little.
was even a regional sales leader as well. So I also sprinkled in that time. I had the real privilege of working as a consultant. I was sitting at my agency, and one of the end of a kind of a busy day, and you kind of go home and you wonder, what have I done today? And in kind of taking inventory, I found out I was spending more time helping all these other people grow their businesses and start businesses and take next steps and things like that, till I figured I need to monetize that. So I went and did that for a number of years, had the pleasure of not only working with insurance agents, IT companies, working with real estate organizations, working with AV people. I got to work in the oil and gas industry. I got to work in help build private schools, athletic departments. I got to do a lot of things. I wrote was published twice with 2 books in the meantime in that period. So just try and help people do that. So kind of, Chris, like you asked, how did I get here? When someone says, when God was delving stuff out, what did he delve you? So I said, my thing is, he just gave me this niche of helping find people where they are, figuring out what they want, where they want to go, and helping them get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I got here. Being in the insurance world, I'm like, this chasing all these people's getting kind of old. And then here comes this ICA thing. You mean I just get to help people every day? I just get a dupe. Sign me up. So anyway, so that's how I started here back in 21.
Very cool.
And now, how do you leverage that multi-industry experience to help those people wanting to break into insurance from other backgrounds? How do you actually leverage that? Because to me, that'd be like a superpower, right? Because you have the industry knowledge,
Helping them know where to start. Yeah.
But you've experienced other industries, so you can actually speak other languages, right? And you can help bridge those gaps.
If I could add an add-on to that, is it obviously if the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Is it more of you trying to figure out if they're coachable, or is it, hey, there's just you can enter into any relationship?
That's a good quote.
I don't know. I can't take
you might
credit
have
for
to
that.
like take that one for the whole
Yeah,
podcast
I don't.
today.
I got that
The
from
student is ready, the teacher will appear. I'm still stuck on that. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. You're correct. And what I would say about this is, if I could put it this way, everyone wants to go to heaven. No one wants to die to get there. And
Another solid one.
the thing about it is, a lot of people want help, but they kind of want it their way. And one of the valuable lessons I learned in my consulting time frame is I could see the outcome, but they can't always see the outcome. And sometimes we want it more than they do, but you can only take them as far as they're willing to work to get there. So I'll help anybody to the degree that they want to dive into it. If they're just like all in, then we'll knock it out, and I'll provide you. We'll do step by step, get you there, give you 7 figures in your first year, in your first couple years, and have a great time. You want to kind of keep redoing things, and because I want to do it my way, then all right, well, call me when it doesn't work and we'll figure something else out.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I'm cut from the same cloth, my friend. My output is greatly determined by your desire to actually be coached and wanting to put in equal effort.
Right. But to your point, Chris, is I guess, if I had a superpower, it's really getting on the level where those people are.
Yeah.
As opposed to, this is where I am, come find me, hope you can catch up. It's really, as low as, to whatever degree that is. And that's really the interesting piece about the classes, is because I can tell you, I've had classes that have had brand new people and people with masters of insurance all in the same class.
Yeah.
So how do you match and provide information on all those different levels in the same hour, right? And it just worked. And I will tell you about the classes and courses going forward. I have never had a person come through one of our courses, regardless of how educated they were, that didn't leave going, this was awesome. I didn't know a lot of this stuff.
It's also because you're involving an element of relationship. I'm not having to sit and watch just a video seminar. It's, hey, how do we look at this scenario? Let's role play. Let's work on that. I mean, I think about some of the most remarkable training in our industry was like the Pacesetters program, which offered real live coaching. And obviously that's since changed. I mean, I think it's still out there, but you guys are bringing to the table something that is completely comprehensive.
And I think an added perk benefit, if I can go it out, kind of throw this out there, and listeners don't hear this part, but is even after our classes are over, it doesn't shut off our support.
Yeah.
I just graduated a group just this morning from our commercial lines class, and I said, so just because class is over does not mean I'm not here to help you. And I'll have people, message me back, send me emails 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later, just, whatever. In fact, here's a funny thing. Here's a little gift on my desk. Y'all can see that, a little genie lamp, right? Because I have a particular agent that she's always, when they call that, all right, well, I'm like, just rub the lamp, genie will appear, we'll fix it.